Welcome to From Kitchen to Cash, our food business podcast. My name is Ashish,
And this is Satvir here.
and today we are going to take you to the world of kiosks. That is a small food business which can be run very easily. So, what says Sadhir? Let's dive right into the kiosk business.
Oh, it's such a good business, Ashish. I really
Mm-hmm.
like kiosk business. It's low
Mm-hmm.
cost of investment, great returns.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's like buying a job for yourself if you want to run only one kiosk.
Okay.
If you want to run multiple, it's a perfect way to expand your business into multiple territories or
Mm.
areas with
Mm.
minimum investment, Ashish.
Okay.
The only thing with the kiosk is you cannot deal with too many products.
Okay. So before we dive into it, for those of our listeners who are not very clear on what a kiosk is, what is it that we are, what do we mean when we say a kiosk? What is it? What is our understanding of a kiosk?
It's like a stall, anyway you have,
Hmm.
with it's a temporary structure
Hmm.
in which your business is running. It can be in a mall, railway
Hmm.
station, police outside a police station, outside a court or a hospital.
Hmm. Hmm.
These are the usual locations for running a kiosk or in a busy market.
Hmm.
And you're just
So
selling a
it's not
couple of
a
items.
complete shop, for example, that these are small shops that you see typically inside of a mall, which are
Yes,
not a shop, but within the corridors, a small space which has been designated to a small place which is selling food. That is what
yes,
a kiosk is, right?
yes, exactly, Ashish. It's a
Okay.
perfect business model. Most of the kiosks within a mall are provided by the mall itself,
Hmm.
and the same goes in a hospital or in a court area.
Okay.
Basically, in a kiosk, Ashish, it's a very small business.
Okay.
So the input cost or the investment that you put into a kiosk is very low,
Hmm.
which is the beauty of the business.
Hmm.
But
It might not scale to a very big business, as I
yes,
understand from what you're saying, but it'll generate you a steady revenue.
yes, it will. Now you can
Hmm.
open a kiosk inside a call center. There'll be so
Mhm.
many students or people working inside it,
Hmm.
right? Or any other industry like IT industry, offices and stuff like that, Ashish,
Okay, got it.
right? But it's a
Hmm.
temporary structure thing.
Hmm.
So you're not tied to a place like you bought a place or you're paying a heavy rental for it. No, you're not.
Okay.
Yes.
So typically, there will not be a live kitchen in a kiosk.
No, Ashish. There will not be a live kitchen inside a kiosk. Usually,
Hmm.
inside a kiosk, you will not be allowed LPG cylinder, right, for
Hmm.
cooking. The only
Hmm.
appliances you'll be allowed would be electrical,
Hmm.
right?
So
And
a
since it's,
microwave or
yes,
maybe an induction.
induction or microwave, but there are strict rules to it because
Okay.
look, you're in the center of the mall with closed shops on
Right.
both the sides. Now, if you
Hmm.
start cooking, their
Hmm. There
clothes
is
are
a
gonna
fire
start.
hazard and
Yes.
yeah. Hmm.
Plus, there's an odor issue.
Hmm.
So it's a long chain of events that happen once the odor comes in.
I,
So,
I
so that's why the kiosks are usually not allowed to cook. They usually
okay.
have pre-cooked food with them,
Hmm.
like muffins, tea, coffee,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
except for that, you might have a couple of cookies and stuff like that, or a
Okay.
puff,
Okay. Okay. Got
and you're
it.
just selling them.
Hmm.
But they can be
So.
different kind of kiosk, Ashish, in food
Mhm.
business. Now,
Mhm.
before we go into the topic of kiosk, right? I'll just take a minute or two to explain different kind of food kiosk and different kind of food
Perfect.
industries which can take benefit from the
Hmm.
kiosk business.
Hmm.
Now,
So,
one
what kind of business you can open in a food kiosk is what
food
we are
kiosk,
going to
Ashish.
discuss. Hmm.
So now
Okay.
there are two different kinds of businesses you can run in the food industry with a kiosk. One is directly cooking and selling food.
Okay.
right? It might be coffee, tea with muffins and stuff, nothing more than that, or a lassi or a juice point, something like that. The second would be a pre-packaged thing which you're trying to sell from a point.
Okay.
For example, a lot of organic stuff that has come up now, like examples are desi ghee, honey, jams, etc. They're also part of the food industry, Ashish. So they can sell directly from a kiosk. It's
Mm.
low investment cost. You're not
Mm.
tied to the mall for a longer time, right?
Right.
And you can easily showcase your product and sell it.
Mm. And especially these pre-packaged products, when you're saying maybe honey or maybe organic ghee, these things won't go bad, right? They have quite a good shelf life. So the inventory that you have, the chances of that going bad are really low. So that's a very good idea, right?
Yes, Ashish. The investment cost is so low in this
Hmm.
business that the
Hmm.
overheads come down. So let's say somebody is
Right.
into a honey business and they do 20 different kinds of honey and other organic material.
Hmm.
Now the stuff is
Hmm.
expensive, so
Hmm.
you won't find buyers easy, right?
Hmm.
So if you
Hmm.
open a full-fledged shop in a mall to showcase your
Hmm.
product, the overheads will be so expensive.
Hmm.
You'll be paying for the air conditioning or heating, then you'll be paying for the electricity and couple of staff members. If you open
Hmm.
a kiosk, it's only two people operation
Hmm.
or a single person. You just place your stuff there and you start showcasing it.
And you
People
start
can
showcasing.
try and they sell
Yeah.
and it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Just
the
put some
beauty of
honey
this
onto a
business.
cracker and you are good to go, right?
Yes.
Just
Uh,
have a tasting cracker and you're good to go.
Cracker and ghee, Ashish, they work perfect. So A2
Just
ghee
add
is such a
some,
popular thing these days
yeah, I know.
that
Just
how do
add
you,
some mango pickle to it, aam ka achar, and
yes.
you're all set.
Pickle is another thing that you can sell
Hmm.
on a food kiosk. The only problem
Okay.
with pickle is that many malls don't allow selling you, they don't let you sell
Because of the
pickle
odor?
because of the odor.
Because of the odor, yeah.
Yes, that's the
Hmm.
only issue with the pickle.
Hmm.
You can do specialized candy. You'll see
Hmm.
so many
Yeah.
candy kiosks in the
We
malls.
do candy, yeah. We do
Yes,
see a lot of candy kiosks,
yes.
yeah.
It's because this is a perfect business for kiosk. You're selling one
Hmm.
product.
Hmm.
That's candy from there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hot dog stands, Ashish.
Hmm.
That's a food kiosk business. Kulfi, that's a food
Hmm.
kiosk business. Um,
Hmm.
Yogurt, the frozen
Hmm.
yogurt, that's a
Hmm.
food kiosk business. Soft tea is another food
Hmm.
kiosk business, except for tea and coffee. Uh, Usually people think
Right.
that it's only tea and coffee that can be sold on kiosk. But
Hmm.
this is a
Hmm.
perfect way. Selling ice cream from a food kiosk is a perfect business.
Right, right. So there are a lot of options, what I can understand. If
Yes,
you just start thinking, I think, oh, if one goes to a mall or goes to an airport, just look around and also identify what is the need. Like if you remember the other day, we were in that market and we
yes,
were just talking about how even water can be a business because while you're walking and it's
yes.
hot, or even if it's not hot, you need something to drink. Maybe it could be plain water or juices. If you have a kiosk
You can have
nearby,
a food
uh,
juice
people,
dispenser
yeah,
kiosk, Ashish. Water
yeah,
dispenser kiosk. For
mm,
example, do you remember those HPMC points that used to be from
absolutely,
Himachal for the apple juice?
yeah, the apple juice business, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the one place that I remember these apple juice bars, as they used to call them, is from the hospital.
Yes.
I think while
Hospitals
we
and
were
railway stations.
absolutely, we were always in and out of hospitals because we we would keep falling and injuring ourselves. So the one thing that parents would always get us is this juice
Yes.
from juice bar. Yeah, that's an amazing
It's a
business. Yeah.
perfect business out there, Ashish. It's in a
Mm,
dispenser. You're not making it. It's pre-made from a
yes.
concentrate, and you're just
Mm,
dispensing it. That's it.
Hmm.
These days, these
Hmm.
special dispensers like the Coke and Pepsi machines that are there, the
Hmm.
fountain ones, the
Hmm.
same are there for lemonade and other drinks,
Hmm.
iced tea.
Hmm.
So
Right.
for the drinks, it's a huge, huge market, Ashish. The kiosk
Right.
business goes perfect for drink business.
Hmm.
One is that
Hmm.
in a kiosk, you get a better
Hmm.
self-respect
Hmm.
that you're owning a business. Whether it's a
Right.
small or a big business, it's still a
Right.
good business. Second
Right.
point is you get a better location.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then the police and the other administrative
Hmm. Hmm.
people
Because
out
it is
there.
completely legal, right? You
Exactly.
you are not opening a food cart. You don't have to fight with the local vendors for a location. It's a completely legitimate legal business,
Business.
and most of the times it's within a mall or some place which
Yes.
is catering to a different clientele altogether.
Yes, Ashish. The last
Hmm.
part is that if you have low investment with
Hmm.
you, then kiosk is a
Hmm.
perfect business. Grow in it,
Right.
right? Grow your business from a kiosk. It will take time, but it's like buying a job,
You're right.
right? So it's an
So
easy
we.
business.
Mhm.
It
Hmm.
doesn't require
Right.
many people. You just need to train one or two people for one kiosk. And it's a perfect two people setup. There are many husband and wife which run kiosks together.
Yeah, makes sense. It can be a family thing,
Yes.
and I think both of you don't even have to quit your jobs. One can be in a regular job and can join your partner in
In
the
the evening.
evenings, or yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So it's a
that's.
wonderful product, Ashish.
Mm,
So there's another aspect to food kiosk. It
mm,
also is
mm,
place dependent.
mm,
So for example, if you are running a kiosk in a mall, it's a totally different business. But if you're running it in an international airport, then it's a
mm.
totally different business, Ashish. There's
Okay.
a costing involved with the airports and
Mhm,
railway stations
mhm,
because you're doing a bidding process for the kiosk,
mhm.
right? And then you are selling the product at a better price,
Right.
right? But you need to know how many flights come in and out, what are the busy
Mhm,
times, right?
mhm,
It's more to do with the influx of passengers. So it's not there all the time. For
mhm,
example, there might be four flights out or in at 1 o'clock,
mhm.
right? But then for next 2 hours, there are no flights.
There are no flights. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the only problem with airports and trains. But
Hmm.
you get better pricing there.
Hmm. So this brings me to a question. Like we just discussed, a lot of things that can be put in a food kiosk.
Yes.
How do you procure a food kiosk? Like you said, in an airport or a train station, how do you typically procure a food kiosk?
Ashish, for most of the government places, a bidding process would be there. So, for
Okay.
example, inside a court premises, inside a
Mm-hmm.
government hospital, outside a government hospital, then
Mm.
comes the, let's say, police station,
Railway station.
outside railway station, there will be a bidding
Mm.
process. The government will
Okay.
provide you with the details that how much foot traffic is there,
Mm.
and this is what the bidding starts at. Now, you need to
Okay.
be very sure
Mm.
at which point are you bidding for.
Mm.
If your kiosk is near the gate, it'll have more footfall,
Mm.
traffic. If it's away, then the traffic will decrease. So you need to know. For example, there's an easy example I'll give on this. Let's say we enter an airport. So on the left or the right side, there'll be food kiosks, the smaller ones selling all different kind of things. And then
Right.
there's one near the gate.
Mm.
Now, the one near the gate will never do as much business as the one near the entry point. Because at the
Right.
entry point, every passenger is going to be there. But at the gate,
Right.
it's only the
Only those who are boarding from that gate will be
gate would be
there.
there. So that's the point,
Hmm.
Ashish.
Hmm.
But here comes a twist to it.
Hmm.
Sorry, let's continue with the bidding process and then I'll come back to the twist.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so there'll be a procedure by the
Hmm.
government. They'll ask for bids. They'll ask for your
Hmm.
experience, that how many years you've
Okay.
been running a kiosk. there'll be some money that you'll have to deposit with government as guarantee,
Right.
and then only will you get it.
Got
Right.
it.
So it's the same for all the four places that I just mentioned. For malls, it's
Perfect.
totally different,
Hmm.
Ashish. You'll have to go to the mall
Okay.
authorities, give them your idea,
Okay.
convince them that it's a good idea for them. It might be on
Hmm.
profit sharing or there might be a rent involved,
Okay.
right? For air conditioning, they will not be charging you. There'll be a general
Hmm.
maintenance charge for the area that every
Okay.
vendor pays.
Okay.
So usually the malls provide you the kiosk themselves, whereas the
Hmm.
airport and the railway station, you'll have to construct them.
Okay. Well,
Yes. The other,
okay.
the last one is the franchise model, Ashish. There might be
Mm-hmm.
big companies like Nestle, Brew, Tata, others,
Hmm.
which might have
Hmm.
pre-auctioned kiosks with them at different locations,
Okay.
and then you
Hmm.
just take a franchise.
दोबारा ये वाला कट बीच में
Sorry.
वॉइस आई होगी.
हाँ जी. So there
एक
might
मिनट
be,
रुको. एक मिनट रुको, रुको, रुको. People on demand. हाँ, आप वहां से शुरू करोगे. नेक्स्ट इज फ्रेंचाइज.
हाँ जी. Uh,
नेक्स्ट इज फ्रेंचाइज से शुरू करो.
yes. So there are also franchise, Ashish, from the
ओके.
big companies, which you can
हम्म.
take and you simply run a franchise and you pay them a monthly rental on it.
Okay. So, what kind of franchise are we looking at? Any
Usually,
example of a franchise?
it's a coffee point, like Nestle does
Okay.
with Nescafe.
Okay.
It'll be coffee and Maggie point together.
Maggie points. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Hmm.
The same is for Brew. They do a
Okay.
coffee and chai point. And these days, some chai points like Tata Agni and stuff are started. So
Hmm.
it's a perfect business, Ashish. There's low investment cost in it, right? The
Hmm.
business is less than 100 square feet of
Hmm.
area, right? You're working yourself and you'll be making money in the end. Now, it
Hmm.
depends upon the place and the product you're selling, the amount of money you're going to make.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So, we are looking at a low business other than the contracting one. So, this could, the operational cost could be less than a lakh rupees.
Yes.
Now, what are the challenges in this business?
Challenges are the main challenge is always the workforce, Ashish. You'll have to
Okay.
train
If you are
people
not working yourself, that
if you're
is.
not working yourself or you need a helper. So you
Hmm.
need somebody to take care of the place when you're not there.
Hmm.
So if you and your wife are working together, then it's or your partner, any partner
Hmm.
of yours is working
Hmm.
together, then it's perfect.
Hmm. Hmm.
But if you're not working all the time by yourself, then you need a good worker to work for you,
Hmm.
right? So keeping the worker there at the kiosk is a big
Hmm.
challenge.
Is the challenge.
It
So,
is the
what?
biggest.
I'm just digressing for a second. What kind of a coverage are we looking at when it comes to a kiosk? A 12-hour coverage or what? More than that?
Ashish, it depends. For example, if you're in a hospital area, it'll be 24 hours.
Then it'll be
In an
24 hours. Okay.
international airport, it can be 24 hours. Some
Hmm.
airports
Hmm.
only operate for 12 hours. Some railway stations only operate for 12 hours. So it
Hmm.
depends the kind of place you're at.
Depends on the location.
Yes.
Okay,
For
got it.
example,
Got
at
it.
malls, it'll be usually around 11:30 to 9.
Right.
So it depends upon the place and the cost
Hmm.
associated with it.
Hmm. Okay.
But
So coming back to the challenge, one is the manpower or
yes,
hmm.
the second is the product pricing and growth. So,
Okay.
for example, if you're at a railway station,
Hmm.
there'll be somebody else selling the same product at a cheaper price than you. So you need to
Okay.
make yourself unique that people come and buy product from you,
Okay.
right? As a chai point, it's very tough to sell chai at some X
Premium
amount.
price.
Yes, premium price
Yeah.
at a railway
Hmm.
station. At
Hmm.
a airport, it's easier, right?
Hmm.
But people are still price conscious.
Hmm.
So you can't
Hmm.
say, okay, I'm going to sell chai for $500 on an airport.
Right.
It still needs to be at the right price.
Hmm.
You need to look after your business. How much money does it generate? But you can't
Hmm.
just simply charge exorbitant for it. That's
Right.
an issue with the business, Ashish.
Hmm. So
Okay.
that will come after you've started working there for some time is when you'll have
Yes.
to adjust pricing, either based on the amount of money that you want to generate out of it or the percentage. So what do you think is a better way? Should we be looking at a percentage profit or an amount? Okay, I want to earn, say, 50,000 or 60,000 from this kiosk every month, and then I adjust my pricing likewise.
You can do that, but for a couple of weeks, you will not come to know. For example,
Okay.
some mall really looks nice, and you have a
Hmm.
product like jams. So
Hmm.
you think there's a lot of foot traffic, and my
Hmm.
products is going to be good. Now you need to
Hmm.
look at the crowd coming inside the mall. Go to the
Hmm.
mall, sit down, observe the crowd. Are they going into the shops or not? Are they
Hmm.
buying something from the kiosk or not? Is it a
Hmm.
high end mall or a mid level mall? What kind of a brands do they have?
Hmm.
Right? Then you place your product there. You can't simply go in gun blazing, all gun blazing, Ashish, that, okay, I'm going to sell a jam for 2,000 rupees in a mid level mall.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to get tough. You need to
Right.
explain people why they want to spend on this particular product.
Mm,
So you
mm,
need to be sure about your product.
mm. Okay.
And another thing is, Ashish, that kiosk business is perfect to enhance your business or your business name further. For
Mm,
example, you're a mithai shop. Now, if you
mm.
open a full-fledged shop somewhere, it's going to cost you a lot. But if you start
Right.
selling airport packaging, mithai at the airport, railway station, or inside a
Mm,
mall, you don't need
mm.
that big a setup. And you can
Right.
simply expand your brand and you can further go into franchise mode. So
You're
that's the
right.
beauty of this business, Ashish.
Your name becomes recognizable. The
Yes,
one thing that happens at these places, so you can use them as a platform for your marketing.
marketing. And you can
Mm,
grow your business. It depends. The kiosk business is like a very versatile business, Ashish. It can be a
mm,
job for yourself. It
mm,
can be there to go into a niche market, like the
mm,
ghee and jams we were talking about. Other than it
mm,
can be to expand your business. You might be a
mm,
very famous cookie store in the city. You might be a good mithai shop or anything. And you can
mm,
brand and project yourself as a bigger brand so that tomorrow you
mm.
can sell your franchise easy.
Right.
So there's
Right.
also a thing called Ashish kiosk franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was explaining before with the brew and the Nescafe and others. So why not
Mm.
mithai shops can go into franchise mode?
They can.
They
Yes.
can. And the same goes for people making bhajia and stuff like that. Why not?
Yeah. So you're coupling your home kitchen business with a kiosk. So
Yes.
you're maintaining a base kitchen, maybe at your home, maybe you have a base kitchen, and then you're selling stuff, packaging and selling stuff there at your kiosk.
Yes.
So
But it has
packaging
to be
would
a
be my
dry stuff, which doesn't
dry
need to
thing.
be
Yeah.
heated, Ashish.
Yeah.
So for a
And I
hot,
think something that you'll be needing to focus on is the packaging because a lot of people take stuff for their friends, relatives from such places.
yeah, for example, rasgullas, Ashish, why not? You can run
Right.
a Bengali rasgulla shop anywhere. But if you
Hmm.
look at your packaging and you're actually giving them in matkas and doing everything
Hmm.
around it, you can run it from a kiosk. It's a single product,
Hmm.
but it's
Hmm.
a good
Just
product.
make sure that you're not taking the rasgullas back to Kolkata.
That is true, Ashish. But it's a sellable product. In a food
Yeah.
kiosk, it depends the kind of location you are at.
Hmm.
And if you do proper packaging and
Hmm.
how upscale you want your business to look at, you can
Hmm.
really sell it. For
Hmm.
example, chai points, the same
Hmm.
chai is being sold everywhere, Ashish, right? It's
Hmm.
the packaging and the branding that
Hmm.
makes the price of the chai go up.
Price of the chai.
Right? It's
Yes.
also the hygiene factor in it. I agree.
I think food hygiene goes without saying. Okay, so guys, uh, listening to the podcast, please assume that hygiene is taken for
It's
all businesses. Yeah,
it's the
it's a
first thing
done deal for businesses.
if you don't look
Hmm.
after hygiene, you're
Hmm.
done. in food business. You'll never grow.
Never grow. Yes,
It's
agreed.
as simple as that, Ashish. No matter what,
Hmm.
whether it's pre-packaged, non-pre-packaged, anything,
Hmm.
hygiene
Yeah.
is the first thing, Ashish.
Any other challenges other than that that come to your mind?
There's small challenges, Ashish, like getting the food
Hmm.
license from FSSAI. That
Okay.
that takes time. You have to show the food inspector that your place is hygienic and everything,
Okay.
right? And you
Okay.
show the location.
Hmm.
These days, things have been made so easy, and it's all online process, Ashish, right?
Hmm.
People are helpful, and you don't need to worry much about this.
Hmm.
It also
Hmm.
depends the kind of business you're in, Ashish,
Okay.
right? If you're running ice cream,
Hmm.
then the inspectors are going to be more looking into more stuff, right?
Hmm.
If you're selling jams, then they're already FSSAI approved.
Because yeah, you've already certified your product or
Yes.
gotten a license for your product.
They
Hmm.
might still come and take samples, but that's
Hmm.
about it.
Right.
So that's one part.
Right.
The most tough part about this business is finding good manpower.
Hmm.
You have to
Yeah.
train people. You have
Hmm.
to have some incentive plan in place so that they stay
Hmm.
with you.
Right.
Usually,
Right.
cost business go down because you don't find enough manpower.
Manpower. Right.
Sometimes people
Hmm.
they just take you for a ride. They're not there at the kiosk. You're unable to
Hmm.
view. That's why you'll see that if you go into a mall these days, all kiosks have multiple cameras.
Right. That is what I was going to suggest. I think having monitoring systems in place is very important.
Very important.
And with cameras cost coming down drastically, I don't think that's much
Yes.
of a
The 4G cameras,
problem.
5G cameras
So,
these days, Ashish, with a SIM card.
absolutely. And it'll also take care of the pilferage,
Yes.
making sure that there is no theft when it
Pilfer-
comes to
Pilferage is the third part,
yours.
Ashish, that you have to check the
Hmm.
pilferage and count your product every day. For ice cream,
Hmm.
you have to weigh them every day, and
Hmm.
you come to know how many scoops were taken. For
Hmm.
jams and other things, you can count them. Same goes for ghee.
Hmm.
For
Right.
muffins and etc., you can count them again.
Count them.
And the
Right.
chai can
Right.
be taken care of with how much milk or other
Hmm.
products that have been used.
Used. Okay.
The only thing
Good.
I want to add into this, Ashish, is, and I'll take 1 minute. Most of the people who come from IT jobs or corporate jobs, they think that the food business will be run by them on by sitting on a computer, right?
Hmm.
Kiosk business doesn't work like that. You can only
Okay.
make the starting plan on it
Hmm.
on your computer, but in the end, you'll have to stand there, sell the
Hmm.
product. It's all
Hmm.
about selling your product at a high traffic area.
Hmm.
Once that is there, then it's all about it. I have seen so many people that come from good corporate jobs and they know how to make the good, nice Excel sheets and they know how to make every kind of report that is out there. But
Right.
and reports only come in once you achieve those sales. And for
Right.
sales,
Right.
you will have to spend time with your
Hmm.
business. That's
Hmm.
one thing that I always see,
Hmm.
and I
So
consult
you'll
so
have
much.
to get off your keyboards and use some of that elbow grease, and you'll have
Yes,
to get down to selling, hardcore selling.
hardcore selling. Mm,
Right.
There's
Right.
another thing I would always advise people: don't open too
Hmm.
many kiosks at the same time,
Okay.
right?
Start with one.
Start with one,
Hmm.
sell some product, right? Know your product better, get the cost
Hmm.
down, then go for
Hmm.
more,
Then go for more.
right? There
Right.
are some consultants who just want to make money out of the gullible audience out there, right? They'll say, open 10 of them. Look, there's no cost
Hmm.
associated with it, but you don't know
Hmm.
the business yet.
Right.
With time,
Right.
4 months, 6 months, 8 months, know your
Hmm.
business right, then go for
Hmm.
it.
Then go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you rush into
Because
it,
the ones who are selling you a franchise would typically want you to open multiple locations. They would want you to
yes,
take up multiple franchises at the same time.
same time.
So one has to be a little wary of those.
Yes. There's another category to kiosk business, Ashish, that is farm to kiosk,
Okay.
right? It's for farmers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can get a good partner as a farmer, then you can
Okay.
sell so many things at a kiosk.
For example, are we talking about fresh produce or
Yes.
what? What are we talking about?
Don't go for the fresh produce like cauliflowers and stuff like that, right? Think
Okay.
about expensive herbs like oregano or thyme or stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
It can be
Interesting.
dried and you can sell them,
Mm-hmm.
or you can
Okay.
sell the fresh ones.
Spices. Yeah.
Yes.
Spices,
Herbs.
right?
Oh, no, no, Ashish, I'm
Herbs,
talking about herbs
spices.
here, right?
Okay.
Herbs.
Hmm.
Then you can make pre-packaged meal for like soups and sell them in a small
Okay.
box. You call it the soup box, where everything is there. The herbs are there, the spices are there, right?
Okay. That's interesting. So you just put it into a pot, water, and
And you're done.
boil it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
That's
do
an
it as the
idea. Yeah.
organic way and sell it. There's another couple
Right.
of things, Ashish, like good. Like
Okay.
if you
Organic good. Yeah.
organic good or shakkar, both
Hmm.
loved by people, especially children. Bring
Right.
innovation in it,
Hmm.
start selling shakkar
Hmm.
in a right way,
Hmm.
you'll make a lot of money,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
You can show it as an alternative. You can show a better pricing to it. You can sell a couple of recipes to people, the how to make different products out of it. That's a good
Hmm.
business. So
That's a
if
good
you have a
business. Yeah.
direct farm connection, or if there is a farmer out there who wants to
Hmm.
make money,
Hmm.
they can identify a few products, open their own kiosk, and sell them. The last,
And sell them. Yeah.
yes, Ashish, the last is a fruit or a vegetable kiosk. So
Okay.
how does it? It's like a cooperative kiosk, Ashish. Let's say a couple of
Okay.
farmers from one village get together.
Hmm.
They take a kiosk in a high foot traffic area and they
Hmm.
start selling it by piece as organic stuff.
Okay.
You will always find people buying organic.
Hmm.
Just
Hmm.
go for the right marketing, show what chemicals do to the
Hmm.
body and how and why you
Hmm.
should avoid them. It will always sell,
Right.
Ashish.
Right. Right.
Everything going
Right.
on in the world these days, people
Hmm.
are going
Hmm.
for the organic. So
Absolutely.
different ways you can sell it, Ashish. The last part is
Hmm.
that you can have a kiosk on a highway near your village,
Okay.
outside
Hmm.
a dhaba, a famous dhaba. You can talk to them. You can pay them the rent for the
Hmm.
kiosk and still
Hmm.
sell your produce or your mithai.
Okay. All right.
So
Hmm.
it is a sellable model, right?
Right. Right.
You just need to identify your product right.
Identify the product. Yeah. And like you said, it might take a bit of an experimentation. The good part about a kiosk business is you're not setting up a kitchen. There is not much of a setup cost. So if you say start with a jam and after a couple of months you realize that it's not working out, you can always move to another business because it won't take a lot of investment. So
You
there
can,
is a scope of reinventing your business all
Ashish, you
completely.
can reinvent your business. You can move to a different location. You can move to a different city. You can sell your
Hmm.
franchise from this business.
Hmm.
There's so much you can
Hmm.
do.
So
It's
much you can
all
do.
about
Yes.
finding the right product for you, and you need to
Hmm.
identify the kind of foot
Hmm.
traffic you have.
Nah, football. Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
all about that, Ashish. So,
Hmm.
easiest example of kiosk running very successfully everywhere in India are the milk points.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you'll find different Vita and Virka,
Milk bars, what they
Maybe.
call. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So milk,
Flavored milk.
yeah. So basically they're
Hmm.
kiosk selling milk
Hmm.
and bread and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
Ashish, they are so successful.
Hmm.
They're one of the most successful business, and they're dealing with fresh material every day, which goes bad
Hmm.
after 24 hours.
Right. Right.
And still,
Right.
all of them would be in profit.
Hmm.
So you just need to
Hmm.
identify your product right, that people
Hmm.
require it, and how can you sell it to them? It's just like
Right.
I give such a good example that when we travel abroad, Ashish, You'll always find the frozen in the frozen vegetable section, the sambar vegetable with cutting, right?
Hmm.
Couple of vegetables thrown into it with drumsticks and radish and carrot and everything in it.
Hmm.
And they made a pre-packaged thing, the cut vegetables, and you're just selling them
Hmm.
in the frozen
You
market.
just right,
People
right,
can
right, right.
invent themselves in India
Hmm.
in a kiosk business that if you have a base kitchen and you're cutting vegetables, you're not paying
Hmm.
and doing it for different things, and you sell them as
Hmm.
freshly cut vegetables, you can sell them at a kiosk. You don't even
Right.
cook anything. It just
Hmm.
depends the kind of business you're getting into. Ginger
Right.
garlic paste is another, Ashish. It's a huge market. Every household uses it. So if you
Hmm.
start selling organic ginger and garlic paste, it will sell, Ashish. You just need to
Hmm.
market the product right.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So just identify the right spot, the right product, and you are good for it. So kiosk can be a good business, a low investment, good business. Just invest some time on the market research, do some bit of market research, see the kind of footfall at the place that you plan, and you should be able to run a successful business, right?
Yes. If your plan is right for kiosk, then you will not
Hmm.
be in a kiosk. That
Yeah. From kitchen to kiosk.
yes.
Any final thoughts before we wind up today's episode?
People should go for a kiosk business to learn more about food
Hmm.
business. They should
Hmm.
identify their product right, low investment
Right.
cost, and you will end up making money.
Absolutely. And if you have any thoughts, if you have any questions around the kiosk business, or if you want to suggest something or you tried something and it worked out for you, please do share it with us so that we can share it with everyone else. Stay motivated, get into the food business, and do give us suggestions and ask your questions. And let's see what comes up next week. Any final thoughts, Satvir?
No, just happy cooking to everyone. Go invest and find yourself a business.
See you. Bye.
Thank you.